What did the Scouts, or the Boy Scouts as they were then known, do during World War II? In this video, we will try to ascertain what their role was during this crucial moment in the history of our country. The Boy Scouts are carrying on was the slogan of the Scout movement during the war. By the end of 1940, over 53,000 Scouts had trained to undertake over 170 National War Service jobs. The Scouts were and still are proud of their record and commissioned a booklet entitled They Were Prepared and a film, Men of Tomorrow, in 1941 to tell the story of their efforts. These badges and armbands were issued to Scouts undertaking official war work, which we will explore in this video. The 1st of September 1939, Operation Pied Piper began. This was the code name of a mass evacuation of civilians, especially children, from areas thought to be at risk from air raids. 3.5 million were relocated during the war. The government had planned the scheme, but needed help from organisations to assist with the programme. Older Scouts were used to help organise groups of children, carry luggage, and offer other necessary comforts. The members of some cub packs and scout troops were evacuated en masse as the programme was organised geographically. Leaders tried their best to keep the groups going in order to offer continuity to children. Scouts were also asked to help prepare the country for air raids. This included preparing for the government-imposed blackout. Teams of Scouts helped by painting white lines on the edge of roads to make them more visible in the dark, in order to prevent car crashes. Teams of Scouts could be booked to help put up air raid shelters. There were two main types of shelter: Anderson shelters, which could be dug and built in the garden, and Morrison shelters, which were erected inside the house. By the end of 1941, over 500,000 Morrison shelters had been issued to households across the UK. That's not all. During the Blitz, Scouts supported civilian organisations including the Air Raid Wardens Service and the Fire and Ambulance Services. Scouts worked in very dangerous conditions as fire watchers, stretcher bearers, message carriers, hospital evacuation assistants, and first aiders. The Scout training which they had received helped them fulfil these tasks. The bravery of many Scouts was recognised through the Scouts Gallantry Award scheme. These included John Flynn of Sheffield. A local newspaper wrote up a report of his actions. In a hail of shrapnel, Flynn took charge of a woman who had been rescued from a demolished house and wheeled her on a grocer's barrow to a first aid post. Flynn wore a saucepan on his head to protect himself during the air raid. John was later awarded the Gilt Cross, the fourth highest gallantry award for facing moderate risk in the course of his duties. Sadly, not all Scouts undertaking this kind of work survived. One such case was that of 17-year-old Frank Davis. He died on the 8th of December 1940. He was awarded the Bronze Cross for conspicuous bravery and devotion to duty as an air raid warden. Having rescued a fellow Scout messenger, he was killed by enemy action. You can access a list of the gallantry awards presented by the Scouts online. In 1940, the Home Guard was formed from volunteers who weren't eligible for active service due to age, health, or work reasons. Their aim was to slow down the enemy advance in case of invasion. Scouts helped teach skills such as tracking, first aid, and bushcraft to this newly formed force. The Dig for Victory campaign was introduced to encourage people to use land for food production, to help increase the amount of home-produced food, limiting the reliance on imported goods. Scouts helped maintain plots of land, including this war garden set up in the grounds of a hospital. Scouts also carried out other tasks, such as working with the Women's Timber Corps to fell wood for the war effort. They also helped to collect plants which could be used for medical purposes, including plants with antiseptic properties which can be used in wound dressings. Scouts also carried out a range of other jobs, including supporting other civilian services with provision-like service cafes for those in the armed forces. Fulham District Scouts worked with the YMCA to serve refreshments from this van. Campaigns such as the collection of waste paper and scrap metal to raise funds to support the war effort were also attractive to Scouts wanting to do their bit. The Boy Scouts, or simply Scouts as they are known today, are continuing to do similar activities as they did in the 1940s. I hope you now feel that you know what the Scouts did during the war and the ways in which they helped their communities.